Welcome to another Living Well is a Lifestyle vlog where we talk about all things living well from the soil up. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Dr. Eve, and I'm growing here in Zone 8A in North Carolina. I grow in bags, I grow in the ground, above the ground, in baskets, in tubs, whatever I can get, wherever I can get a plant, a pot, a seed, a plot. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Want to talk to you a little bit about this summer. I want to talk to you a little bit about the intensity of the heat this year and what that's going to be looking like. And so it is predicted that we will have a very, very unusually above temperature weather system going on this summer. Yeah. So for those of us who are trying to grow everything, you're going to, you might struggle a little bit because of the heat. There are some things that I would like to share with you about addressing the intensity of the heat if you are, in fact, growing crops this year. And there are four things that I want you to consider. Four. Number one, your soil health. Is your soil healthy? Do you know its pH? Do you know the balance? Do you know if what you're growing in it is in the right pH soil? Is it amended? Are you, first of all, are you growing in bags? Are you growing above ground, below ground? Those are all things to think about because all of those methods of growing require a different type of soil health. Exactly. So we have to really think about our soil health. Now, I started growing over here in this particular area 3.5, 4 years ago. So I have been working on my soil health for a long time. It's doing good. Do I still have challenges? Absolutely. That's number one. Your soil health, according to the method that you are using, is critical. Some for, I don't understand that. So the next thing I want you to be thinking about is your soil health is number one. Number two is going to be your water management. Did I say water management? Let me see what I named this. I said water management because of the intensity of the heat and the varying degrees in which we will get our tropical storms. It's predicted that we may not have as heavy of a hurricane season, which is cool, right? I'm glad. However, if you are growing in bags, your water system's going to look different. If you're growing in the ground, your water system's going to look different. You're going to be thinking about irrigation. Even if you don't have irrigation, mulching is another way. 3 to 4 inches of mulching can really help to keep your soil cool. That is something that I've done in some of my beds so that my ground, my first of all, my soil is not exposed. I have not done it to all of them yet. We are working on it hastily towards mulching. Again, so number one is your soil health. Number two is deeply mulching. 3 to 4 inches of mulch. 3 to 4 inches of mulch to keep that soil cool and to best utilize and manage your watering, right? Number three is going to be your, again, water management. Are you conserving water? One of the things that I have is conservation of water, right? A rain barrel or a regular barrel, or some trash cans with water in it, whatever way you want to do that. But we must conserve water for the times when the heat is so intense, and we may even struggle with water where they water drought systems. Water will help us with drought when there's not as much rain as we need for our crops. And so those are some things that you absolutely need to think about. Number 4, because when the storms comes, they tend to have a runoff. So if you don't build in a trough, maybe you have particular crops that love water, but you have a runoff in your garden. You could dig a trench, right? You could dig a trench so that you can get that water to go where you need it to go, right? For example, even if you have garden beds and you are in your runoff system, you can dig trenches around the borders of your beds so that you can conserve some water for your beds. That is a good system to have, right? Also, the fourth thing is to grow hot things that love hot weather. If you're in zone 8A in North Carolina, particularly in my area, if you know who I am and where I grow, then the things that you are going to want to grow is going to be heat loving crops. What are the heat loving crops in my area? That's going to be number one. Okra is going to be one of those heat loving crops. Number two is going to be your melons, your watermelon, and your melons. That's 3. 4, southern peas, right? Not just any pea, sweet pea or other peas or everybody else's peas, but southern peas, right? One of ours is cowpeas, right? That's a southern pea, and it grows here, and it grows well, and it loves the heat. Another heat loving crop is sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes love the heat. Plant them, and it's nutrient dense. Remember that we're not growing for today, we're growing for the fall. We're growing for February. It's when we cannot grow these things. So you want to make sure that if you haven't looked at what grows well in your area at this time of the year, for us it's sweet potatoes, it's okra, it's melons, it's cantaloupe, it's watermelons, it's southern peas, it's okra, and all the things, right? If by chance I have a ton of of tomatoes, right? When I say a ton, I got the small ones, the great ones, the slicers, the super 100s, and all those things. And I absolutely love those, but those are my right now, like right now pick and eat, and or preserve my tomatoes for tomato paste, tomato sauce, tomato chunks, tomato whatever, preservation, right? So what are some other things? Even with your fruit, if you have built a foundation in your garden with fruit, you want to make sure that you are mulching those as well. Your trees, your apple trees, you want to give them good mulching, 3 to 4 inches, so that they that ground can stay cool, and that weather doesn't that your ground doesn't get brittle. I say this because I am looking at some herbs that I put in some little porch bins, right? Off the rail bins. and they are just as crispy as a chip right now. And so I love it. So I think that if we think about those 4 things, you can be say hello. Hello. This is Emery Gray. Right. Y'all remember Emery Grace, right? Well, she is here with her cousins, and she has been a pick and berry somebody. What do you think about the berries, Emery Grace? They're the best berries I've had in my lifetime. Have you enjoyed going around and gathering berries every morning? That they're the freshest, aren't they? What kinds of berries have you been getting from the garden? Um, blackberries and blueberries. There's other berries. What other berries? Raspberries and strawberries. Strawberries, right. And the figs will be ready soon. We got lots and lots and lots of those. So every day they come out and they go I love just watching them go into the hedges of the bushes to the bushes and get fresh berries every single day. That is we're teaching our children about, growing their own food and where food actually comes from. It doesn't come from a market. It is sold to a market. It comes from farmers. And I think that our children are having a wonderful experience learning about where their food comes from and the freshness, and that they can't take it for granted because some of these foods that come from these stores taste completely different than the food that they are now experiencing here on the homestead. So anyway, I did not want to keep this video going too long. There are 4 things again that I want you to consider when you are thinking about your summer gardening this year, because it is projected to be a extremely hot summer, drought-filled summer. I am not claiming that, but those are the projections that are happening. It's projected that we won't have as much rainfall as that we will need if you are farming or homesteading. It is also projected that the hurricane season may not be we may not get as many hurricane seasons, which is I'm okay with that. But that also means that we won't get as much water, right? But we might get some tropical rain. It is projected that it will be a brittle, brittle, brittle summer. So there are 4 things you have to think about. Number 1, we already said your soil health. Sometimes you might have to amend it. If your soils get your soil tested so that the your local um agency can tell you whether your soil is up to par for growing food, because if you grow food in some poor soil, it will not be nutrient dense. It will be in vain. So check your soil with your local cooperative extension. Number 2, make sure that you are mulching deeply, 3 to 4 inches of mulch. Number 3, make sure that you have a water management system. By that I mean irrigation, or that you are have a schedule, a watering schedule according to what you are growing, your method of growing. Remember, watering in the ground is different from watering from growing in a pot, then from growing in a green stalk, then from growing in bags. They're all different methods, and you have to act accordingly. And number 4, make sure you're growing heat loving crops, y'all. We already talked about that. What I can grow in my zone may not be something that you can grow in yours, but a heat loving crops, I'm telling you right now, heat loving crops, sweet potatoes, okay, okra, okay, watermelon, okay, melons, all kinds. Your your what else? I'm going inside. Okay. Um let's see what else. There's some others. Like you can grow tomatoes, but depending on how you grow them, you want to be careful because of watering. If not regularly watered, you may struggle with the splitting of your tomatoes. Another heat loving crop is peppers. They love the heat, y'all. Get them peppers in the ground because they absolutely love the heat. All right. That's all I have for today. Just wanted to come to y'all because I am preparing for whatever possible scenario because I want to be successful. So if I want to be successful, then I have to make sure that my garden is prepped to give me enough of what I want, right? I am knee deep in berries, knee deep in grapes, knee deep in figs, blackberries. I mean, all those things. So I'm okay with that. But when you're talking about your right now foods that you can grow right now to preserve for February, those are some things you need to think about. Hot things that love the heat. Okay. I'm Dr. Eve. Hey, baby. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. All right, everybody. All right.